All right, well, good afternoon. My name is Kylie Campbell. I am the Director of Membership and Events for Alliance, and I have been with the company for, I think April will be 16 years now. I'm starting to lose count. Today's webinar is just going to cover the exhibitor and sponsorship prospectus. It is a long 23-page document. And so I'm going to try not to read the document too much and rather be a little more interactive, but we'll start here with the first slide. Our conference is usually the week before Labor Day or the week leading into Labor Day. So this year it will be August 26th through 28th. We do have limited space. I think a very maximum amount of tables for exhibitors that I'm able to fit is 25. And that does tend to fill up pretty fast. So we do ask that you try to confirm your intent to exhibit by March 31st to ensure that you can choose where you want to be with your exhibit table, which we'll talk about here in a minute. And then prices do increase after March 31st, so be aware of that. Forward. There we go. If you're not familiar with Alliance, all of the information about us can be found on our website and also in this prospectus. I know this is a very text-heavy slide, so I don't want to read it all to you, but Alliance is the statewide IDD association here in Colorado. Our members are case management agencies, IDD providers, EI, which is early intervention brokers, as well as some of the vendors who exhibit at our summit. They are strategic partners of our membership, as well as disability advocacy organizations here in Colorado. Who attends? For those of you trying to make a decision if this is applicable to you or not, this conference brings in about 300 to 350 folks every year, and we continue to grow. We invite, excuse me, all of the leadership of our members and their, top management staff. We do have a direct support professional scholarship for folks that want to grow their career in the IDD field. Program directors, we have folks in all different lines of the company in the leadership attend, case managers, CFOs, public relations folks, and nurses. I could go on and on. We also invite leadership from our state departments here in Colorado that we work closely with. That includes our healthcare policy and financing folks, our Department of Early Childhood folks, the Department of Public Health and Environment. They're all invited, and we also invite them to present as well if they're available. We also have a CMS Region 8, which is Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, Nevada, Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, I believe. We invite folks from those states to attend our conference. We are the largest association out of all those states in the CMS Region 8, so we do get a good amount of turnout once in a while from those folks from those other states. And then we also invite our vendors to attend, or to exhibit, excuse me. I will touch on that a little bit more, but if you are a strategic partner member of our association, you are not required to exhibit to be in attendance at the conference. So that is a member benefit for being a strategic partner. Jumping right in, I have a schedule at a glance. This is based on last year's schedule, so it is subject to change, but we do start that first Tuesday with some pre-conference meetings. They are what we call our peer network meetings. And then we are planning to do a lunch buffet for those folks attending the pre-conference, which is for members only. And there will be exhibitor setup while that's happening. And then the conference will begin. There'll be a couple breaks, as well as some breakout sessions. And then we will do our State of the Association address, and we have a welcome reception that will be a lot of fun. We're hoping for an entertainment sponsor for that this year, which I'll touch on in a little bit. The next day, that Wednesday, is always a full day. We start pretty early in the morning. Thank you to our Director of Communication, Maria. She hosts a morning hike or some kind of morning activity to get your day going. And then we have breakfast. So we start a little bit later because of that. We have breakfast and some sponsored presentations, some general sessions, networking breaks, of course. We do an awards luncheon. The Jane Kavod Award is a really special one. Jane Kavod was the first executive director of Alliance. And so this is our way of honoring her. She, I believe, just passed away here in the last year, so it's even more special now. And we invite our legislator of the year to come up to Breckenridge and present and speak to everybody. And then we do some special recognitions of folks that have done some outstanding work on behalf of our association throughout the year. We go back into either some general sessions or breakout sessions in the afternoon, and then we do an exhibitor happy hour after that before folks head off to dinner on their own. And then on Friday, that's usually a half day, or excuse me, Thursday. We have more breakfast presentations from our sponsors, as well as some breakout sessions. This year, our general session presenter to close out the conference will be Dr. Temple Grandin, and I think folks will be really excited to hear from her. And then we'll do some exhibitor raffles, which I'll talk about as well. And exhibitor breakdown will be when the conference ends. All right. So the venue, we have signed a multi-year contract with Beaver Run Resort and Conference Center, which is in Breckenridge, Colorado. Typically, our room rates are good for at least a week before the conference and a week after, pending availability. So with our conference leading into Labor Day, it's a really great way to, get to stay and extend a vacation if you can, invite your family. Beaver Run or friends. Beaver Run has a lot of like condo style rooms. So if you do want to bring multiple folks, there's multiple bedrooms, full kitchens, stuff like that. Our exhibitor area, this is just a little diagram of our exhibitor area. That kind of blank space on the right is the main ballroom. We do everything we can to keep all the doors closed in the back of the room and encourage folks to exit way down at the end of the hall there towards those higher numbered exhibitor tables to get that traffic down there. And try not to have everybody just skipping all those exhibitors. I try to give as much love as I can to all of the exhibitors that are there every year. But you'll see the entrance to the exhibitor area and the conference center is up there in the upper left-hand corner. There's some check-in tables, and we move down and there's a big foyer there, and then it goes around the corner and into the ballroom. All right, into some of the meat of what you get with an exhibitor table. As an Alliance Strategic Partner, member of the association, those vendors do get a discounted rate for exhibiting compared to vendors who are not members of the association, excuse me. But we do welcome both members and non-members vendors to exhibit. Your exhibit table is just a standard 6-foot table, and it comes with 2 chairs. Of course, if you need more chairs, we can do that. Tables are assigned first by if you are a strategic partner member or a advocacy network member of our association, and then by when you commit to exhibiting. So I keep everything in order by date, and I try to give those who express their interest in exhibiting and return their reservation form earlier, a better table location there in that larger foyer area that you saw. We do share the full attendee list with all of our exhibitors, regardless of being a member or not, which is a new benefit as of last year. You did have to be a member or pay extra to receive that in the years prior. We have 2 all-access registrations for your company's representatives to exhibit at the conference with your exhibit table. If you are not a member of the association and you want to bring more than 2 representatives, we do charge a discounted registration rate for that. Of course, we recognize all of our summit exhibitors on our webpage for the conference. There's a whole page dedicated just to exhibitors and sponsors, along with a blurb and your contact information and whatever else that you would like to share with attendees can be added there. I mentioned a raffle. There's a raffle on the last day where if you want to do a raffle at your table, like a basket or something for folks to win. You can collect their business cards or have, tickets, and that kind of encourages folks to stop by your table. You can also just have whatever kind of swag you want at your table. That's not part of a raffle, of course, but this raffle that I'm referring to is more of a formal drawing where you get up and just introduce yourself on the last day to folks, and they must be present to win. So we're hoping folks stay for that. And then also, high visibility and a lot of networking opportunities. I make our breaks for the summit. I try to make them at least 15 minutes to 30 minutes a piece so that you do get a lot of time with attendees and a lot of time to talk to them in between sessions. And then as a strategic partner member of the association or an advocacy network member of the association, there are some added benefits that come with your membership. You receive 4 complimentary exhibitor registrations instead of just 2. We, of course, give premium table locations to our members. We offer to hang a banner for that strategic partner exhibitor in our main conference ballroom. We also offer a free opportunity to host a 5-minute introductory breakfast presentation on the first full day. So that Wednesday, that's when the most folks are there in the morning and your most captive audience. That gives you a chance to get up and speak to everybody, and you can have slides if you want and address the audience. If we print your logo along with information that you are a member of the association on a poster board, and we have a few of those that we spread throughout the conference. And then we also do like a half-page advertisement in a slide deck that runs continuously in the background of the general session ballroom throughout the conference. We recognize our strategic partner and CAN members on the conference website and highlight that they are members of the association as well as exhibitors. And then there are several year-round benefits that you can find online. And so for those of you not on the call that are not members of the association, you can take a look at that and see what you get year-round with membership if you're interested in joining. And memberships start at just $2,000 per year. All right. Any questions here before I move on? I know it's quite a lot. Yes, John.
Yeah, clarify the table cost. At the top of the slide, it says 2,500, and at the bottom of the slide, it says 2,000.
Yep. So the table cost is separate from the membership. It's an added cost.
That's the membership. Okay,
Yep.
I got
Down
it.
at the bottom is what it costs per year for a membership.
Okay, sorry.
And that is our minimum dues across the board is $2,000 per year, regardless of if you're an IDD provider or if you're a vendor.
Okay.
All right. And this year, we do have a lot of competition.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
If you're not a member, what's the table price?
It's $3,000.
Okay.
Yes. So it is a $500 savings, but of course, you have that $2,000 membership fee for the year, but there are a lot of added benefits that come year round with that membership, not just at the summit. And moving on to the breakout sessions. In years past, we would give preference to any strategic partner or CAN member that is exhibiting and wants to also do present a breakout session. And then we would allow it to be an add-on as if you're not a member of the association, and that would be an add-on, like a sponsorship for with your exhibit table. This year, across the board, we are not charging for a breakout session as an add-on, but you do have to submit a formal proposal as detailed as you can. This year, we're asking for a 2-minute little like snapshot video of your presentation or your presentation style. That will give you preference if you're able to submit that before April 18th. And here at the bottom of the slide, I can share with you all a link to this exhibitor prospectus, but I think most of you have it. John, you may not. But there is a formal breakout session proposal. So if you are an exhibitor, you are not guaranteed a breakout session this year, which is different in last year's or previous years. I know that's going to be controversial for some of our vendors that are exhibiting. But I do try to do other ways for you, like the breakfast sponsorships for you to get in front of folks to at least introduce yourself, as well as other sponsorships that we'll talk about here in a minute. So if you are interested in a breakout session, take a look at that proposal, see what all we're asking for before you submit your proposal, and try to be as thorough as possible.
Is it possible to be a breakout session presenter and not be an exhibitor?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. The call for proposals has already gone out via email, I think earlier last month, and we'll probably send it again a few more times. But if you did not get that, John, you can go to this slide and find the link to the proposal there, or proposal form. And all right. Moving on, in addition to an exhibit table or separate from an exhibit table, there are sponsorships that are open to anyone, any company. Sponsorships can be purchased without paying the exhibit fee or having an exhibit table, but they won't include attendance unless you are a member of the association. Sponsorships are a really great way to get your name out there more and address the audience and have more opportunities for our attendees to really see you. And they also enhance our event as well. They allow us to offer more things to the attendees. Let's see, the first one here is new this year. We have a pre-conference lunch for our members who are attending those pre-conference peer network sessions. That'll be the first day before the conference actually begins. And we will let you welcome folks at the beginning of the conference and, remind them that you sponsored this lunch. So that is a great, let me back up, sorry. A lot of times this pre-conference cuts so close to the conference starting, and we have so many people at the pre-conference that attendees for the pre-conference don't have time to go get lunch in between the pre-conference and the conference starting. And so this isn't something that we've offered in years past until just last year when we realized, oh, we didn't save them enough time to go eat. So we're starting to offer this again, but it does not cover the full cost. Pretty much none of these sponsorships cover the full cost to us, but it does help subsidize that cost and allow us to offer it to attendees. And as I mentioned, our premier keynote speaker this year is Dr. Temple Grandin. We are super excited for this. She'll be joining us on the last day, and we will give our sponsors an opportunity to speak to the audience, to welcome Dr. Grandin, which I think would be a really great honor, as well as thank her if you wish. And of course, with all these sponsorships, we are flexible with kind of the benefits you get from it, but a lot of it does have to do with a 5-minute opportunity to address the audience and as well as signage that you are a sponsor. We do have a couple other general sessions that we'll host this year. I know one for sure will be from the Office of Community Living, some updates from our state partners there. And I'm not sure who the second one will be yet, but it's a little bit of a reduced cost, and we reduced the cost from last year for this sponsorship to try and get folks interested, our vendors interested, and also gives you that 5-minute opportunity to talk about what you guys do and introduce the keynote speaker as well. Our welcome reception, in the past, we've done something fun called A-Tunes, and we've had a trophy that folks get to take home for the year, and they get to win a discounted either vendor table or discounted registration to the conference. And it's just a fun parody skit. We've had a lot of fun with it over the years, but I think it's kind of dying off, and folks want to spend this time not necessarily watching everyone on stage, but being able to talk to each other. And they can't really do that when they're also trying to listen to our parody skits, which are fun. But we decided this year we're going to do some kind of entertainment, maybe a silent disco, maybe a band. We're not quite sure yet what that looks like, but we do have a reception entertainment sponsor offering, as well as a reception beverage sponsor offer. And in the past, we have been unable to offer any drink tickets up until a year or two ago. So that is a new thing that I think our attendees, whether it's they're having alcohol or a soda, there's no charge for that first drink for them. So a really great, we have tickets that have your logo on them and that you were sponsoring, whether it's the entertainment or the beverage, and folks will see your name that way. And then of course you can get up and kind of MC that welcome reception or do a little short presentation at the reception as well before we get going. And then the next day, that full day, we have a exhibitor meet and greet happy hour. We have this in the foyer where your tables are, so that we used to have it over in like the arcade, and there's a bar down the hall, but our exhibitors expressed interest that they'd rather be at their tables so folks can tell that they are an exhibitor and where they are, and talk to them at their tables. So there's an outdoor area right behind. If you see this Shield Healthcare photo behind them, there's a nice outdoor area that I can send different pictures of, but we set up there last year and it rained a little bit, but hopefully this year we have better weather. We can put some outdoor games out there. We can put sponsorship signage out there, but there is the opportunity to sponsor the appetizers. We do already have a beverage sponsor this year, however. And then this year yes, go ahead.
Is that us, Kylie? We're the beverage sponsor, right?
I can't remember, but probably, yes, actually, yeah, it is.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, and I try to update this document as I have sponsorships added before I send it out any other times.
Okay.
We are hoping to be able to offer a headshot lounge with a local photographer this year that's in Summit County, which is Breckenridge. It would be maybe an hour or two in the afternoon on that, probably during that exhibitor meet and greet happy hour, and have folks be able to sign up in advance to have their headshot taken. And then we also would put this towards, and I do need to update the slide deck, but put this towards some professional photos of our conference, as well as professional photos with Dr. Temple Grandin that next day, that last day. And she will be doing a book signing as well, which we could, with the photography sponsorship, we would have signage at that book signing as well. There are several snack breaks throughout the week. We do this $1,000 sponsorship for our snack breaks, although they tend to be about 5 times as much as that sponsorship. But we print signage and put them right at the snack break tables for you, as well as give you a minute, 5 minutes to address the audience before the snack break and welcome them to the snack break so that they know that you are sponsoring that. Our hospitality suite is a lot of fun. We don't advertise it because it is just a large hotel room. It's a corporate suite, and so it's not, in the main ballroom. We can't fit all 350 attendees, of course, but it does spread by word of mouth as well as the room number. We do already have a sponsor this year, but for future years, if you were to be the hospitality suite sponsor, we approach it in one of two ways. We tell the audience if they're interested to go visit your table to get information about it, about the hours that it'll be open, as well as the room number. And then, of course, we put signage in the suite all around with your logo, and you're announcing your sponsorship for that. There are some additional smaller sponsorship opportunities like conference lanyards, the conference tote bags. We have one that is Boost Oxygen sponsorship. Boost Oxygen are these little canisters of oxygen for high altitude sickness. We've never been able to offer this to our attendees before as a sponsorship, so it would be really awesome to have a sponsor this year or in the future for that. Boost Oxygen is sold pretty much everywhere up in the mountains, including the gift shop there at the conference center. So if folks do have altitude sickness, of course, they can go purchase their own little canister, but it would be great to do some co-branding and be able to offer that this year for folks. And then the breakfast co-sponsors, I mentioned, this is going to be our least expensive sponsorship, and it does give you that, if you are not a member of our association, it does give you that 5-minute opportunity at breakfast to address the audience. And you can opt in on the reservation form. And then again, of course, as I mentioned, as a member of the association, there is no charge for that if you are exhibiting. Any questions here before I move on? Okay. I mentioned this briefly earlier as well. Our direct support professionals are the hands-on folks working with our population. They're there with those folks every day and wanting to hopefully grow their career in the IDD field. So we are offering a sponsorship. We do get a lot of applications every year for this, and I've never had a sponsor for it. But it does help us support getting them to the conference and their 2-night stay, as well as their registration fee. So we, of course, would recognize that sponsor in any way that we can. And then we have a VIP table at that awards luncheon as well that we invite those scholarship winners and any sponsor for them to join us at those VIP tables at the luncheon. And this is just a little plug for the conference center. It's not an official sponsorship, but just an idea for you guys. You can purchase some drink tickets that I can help organize for this bar that you see here in the middle. They set it up as a full bar in this summer and fall. And there's an arcade right next to that. And then there's some hot tubs and a really nice outdoor area. So you can purchase some arcade card games in advance when you get there and hand those out at your conference or your exhibit table, or the drink tickets, and invite folks to join you for a drink, after whatever, or maybe during a break, over at the hub at the pub is what it's called. But it's a fun way to get folks over to your table to say, hey, I got a $5 arcade gift card or something if you want to come over and chat with us. And I've talked a lot about our membership. If you are not a strategic partner or a advocacy network member, we do have memberships still available, and there's a whole web page that you can click on here in the slide deck to learn more about that. That is a different presentation for another day. And I believe there is a short video on that web page for the strategic partner membership that you can watch if you want to learn more about what comes with joining the association. This is all the fine print mumbo jumbo. I will let you all read that on your own, but basically after June 30th, there are no refunds. And if you are not able to make it, which we hope you still will be able to, that you would donate your exhibit table amount to us as a sponsorship for the conference. But if you wish not to do that, we would charge a $250 fee. I do send, well, actually, I'll talk about that on the next slide here. So we have a reservation form, which is different than the confirmation form. This reservation form here in the prospectus is just your intent to exhibit, as well as your wanting to do a sponsorship if you want to do that. And then from there, I will send a confirmation form, which is probably equally as long as this slide deck, but it contains, how to book your hotel room, some more logistics, things you need to know. It'll include a link to a form if you need AV. So if you need like dedicated Wi-Fi for your exhibit, or dedicated power or anything like that, or if you want to bring in like some TV screens and have our AV folks there set that up for you for a display. There'll be a form for that, as well as a form for shipping if you need to ship any of your exhibitor table stuff to the conference center, and information on costs for that as well. So the confirmation form, this reservation form is just the initial reservation, and then of course we will send a confirmation form, which I'll be working on over the next few weeks for those exhibitors who have already sent this reservation form to me. And that is the end. Any further questions or anything else that I can explain for you?
You go.
No, thank you. I don't have any.
I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.
When will